Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. This is AIM again with another IGE versus Team Evo Clan War cast. And this may look like the previous game, but it is not, because if you look at the map, this is Entombed Valley. But we do have another red Terran out for Team Evolution. He is in the bottom right corner of the map, and he is getting very scared for his team. He needs to pull out a win here. It is Evolution's Oz. And up in the top left position, it is Crossbond. It is the Blue Zerg. He had an excellent showing in game number 1. A very nice read in game number 2. Can he pull it off again? For Team IGE, it is bLv. Now, I will try to do a lot better in this game than I did on the last one. And there's Oz just planting down his barracks in the normal spot. No cheesing going on right here. And apparently bLv is not aware that it is crossbond only, since this is the WCS version of the map. Although I am not entirely sure of that, whether it is actually forced crossbond or whether it just happened to be crossed for this game. But either way, bLv sending the overlords out to the not cross positions, and also planting down his hatchery as would be expected. And Lorokus, I think I pronounced that right, is apparently stressing over what appears to be a 12 racks 13 gas, which, to be honest, could lead into any early gas build. Whether it be early tanks, early banshees, or just an early stem. It could be anything. And he does think it is banshees off of one base. But I don't know, really. Because the distance is large on this map. And Cuban Missile correctly saying that banshees off of one base can either go really well or very poorly. Now the banshees are not spectacularly fast. They are faster than the ever so average movement speed shared by many units of 2.25. So getting across that map will be tricky. And if he is going for banshees, then the speed at which he can cross the map will be paramount. It would be better if bLv was up here in the upper right corner. Then the banshees could just follow the right side of the map and engage. And why am I doing that when I can just click the minimap? And the great and powerful Oz, swapping out the factory onto the tech lab, also building his command center and getting a tech lab. Wait, that is a reactor, that is a tech lab. Really, AIM, do pay attention. And yes, he is going to build a starport directly onto the tech lab, so it does appear that he will be going for some Hellion Banshee shenanigans. With the Hellions already moving across the map at their very high speed, and bLv planting down a spine crawler, and rightly so, and oh yes. That is the absolute correct move from bLv, building up a wall to constrict space. Unfortunately, bLv does not have enough Zerglings to deal with these Hellions. And well, those two Zerglings got awful brave and they died for their trouble. And they're just gonna burn the building, which is going to take quite a while. In the meantime, back at home in Oz's base, he is getting up a Banshee, not going for Cloak. So this spells to me non-committal. We'll slip in the macro there, unless he is purposefully not building Hellions. Although, why wouldn't he? I mean, there he goes. Because Hellions are awesome. And believe, having 2 gas geysers but not utilizing them has not mined a single bit of gas. And Spire Crawler doing a little repositioning. Hellions doing a little roasting. And this Queen is in position to give these Hellions a little bit of a hard time, but that much focused fire from the Hellions could kill that Queen. And the micro from Oz saving all the Hellions, and the Queen does fall. Oh, a big slip up here by bLv. And some nice micro out of the great and powerful Oz, who has gone back to roasting evolution chambers. Now he must not make the same mistake with this Queen that he did with the last one. And it appears that Oz is building a Viking. Because... oh, I see. The Viking is going on the hunt for Blue Overlord, as Husky would say. Oh, and there is the Banshee going into the main base of bLv. There is a Spore Crawler on the way, and this Banshee could have about 4 kills by now. But he's spending time attacking the Extractor, which is not the best target for a Banshee. Oh, and he does find a good spot. And a little bit of micro, saving the Banshee. And also choosing the correct time to move out, and all of those Hellions! And that one Marauder. Oh, those Hellions are gonna go right up into the main base. Let's see how much damage they can do. Oh, they are just roasting these drones. No, bLv you don't want to send those drones that way! No, you're lining them up for the Hellions! No! Oh, a massive mistake from bLv. Losing all of those drones. Losing 16 drones, and Oz is not done. Gets another drone before those 2 red health Hellions go down. Oh, jeez. bLv is hurting from that. Although he is still ahead in workers, but only by 6. That is not exactly where you want to be as Zerg. Typically want to be much farther ahead in that drone count. And holy factories from Oz. And either this is a mech transition or he's just bad, which he has clearly demonstrated that he is not. And the armory going down, so clearly a mech transition, and there is a second armory. There it is, I found it. And a third command center. bLv needs to get ready, and he is attempting to do so with a Spire. Gonna go for that Muta counterattack in play. Not a bad idea. Attacking immobility with mobility. Because literally the only mobile part of mech is the Hellions, and they are attacking this hatchery along with this Banshee that was just chilling up here before, but now she has something to do. And I do believe this hatchery is going to have to be canceled. The rocks are not down, and there goes the cancel, and there goes the drone. That is one big problem with those rocks not being down, and also from bLv having not units. Look at the units tab. He has 18 larvae, 1 Zergling, and 5 queens, and this is where my epic lag kicked in. Oh, but here comes the 9 mutas from bLv. Let's see if it can do some real damage, because it needs to get bLv back into this game. These Hellions, and Oz does use a scan to take out those creep tumors. They are active creep tumors, so they can spread. And here come the mutas from bLv. The question is, does Oz have a Thor out yet? He does not, but one is almost done and will be done by the time these mutas get here. This brave Zergling is afraid this command center is just going to squish him, but the game simply does not work that way, unfortunately. And these mutas are flying in. They are going straight for the SCV line. The Thor is out of position, and they are going to get quite a few SCV kills. Could very well even this up. And a couple tanks, those can't shoot up. And the Thor gets a couple shots off. Fortunately for Oz, they were nice up and grouped up. And believe getting a few more SCV kills. Oh, and that poor Mutalisk is just gonna die to a bunker. And after that, believe decides enough is enough. And checking out the unit workers killed tab is 13 to 19, so he has evened it up quite a bit. Quite a bitty bit. But believe has not been able to get up this third base. And these Hellions just poaching right out in front, ready to snipe these creep tumors if they should ever expand. And these Zerglings just taking out these destructible rocks. And even with that many Zerglings not on the job, it's going to take a while. And believe taking a risk to try and get back in this game, expanding to a 4th when he doesn't even have the drone count. Oh my god, believe 37 drones to 43 SCVs and 4 mules. I'm afraid to look at the income tab. Oh, it is, well, that's actually not quite as high as I would expect. Oh, well, there we go. There we go. There's the mules kicking in. Oh god, that is just sick how much resources Terran can get from mules. And that's coming from a Terran. Oh, and here come the mutas. Back to pressure the third. I think his opportunity may have passed. All these Thors are just sitting here. They are not doing anything to attack these mutas. But there are enough missile turrets, and the angle was quite bad for believe. He went in, so all 3 of them could get shots. And so, believe has to retreat. And it does appear that believe is going to try to go for Roach Muta. A very interesting combination. And while Oz sticking to his guns, and I mean big guns, because these things do a lot of damage. In 90mm cannons, not in siege mode, bro. And here comes these Zerglings and the Mutalisks massing in the middle. Oh, but here's a move out from Oz. And his upgrades are 1-1 on his mech. The ground upgrade, the air upgrades, he actually has 1 armor on his mutas. And 1-1 for his Zerglings. And now the Roaches are here, they will be able to help out with the Hellions. But these tanks are sieging up, and they get some nice shots off. The Queen goes down. All she wanted to do was poop out creep tumors. And here come the Hellions to kill off more Queens and the Thors. Those mutas are nice and grouped up for those Thors. And normally Roaches are good against mech, but not in these small numbers. There are just not enough Roaches to take out these tanks and Thors. Especially when they have some Hellions to take a few shots. And literally a few. They can only absorb... Oh, I'm not going to do math on that, because I know that is going to trip me up hard. Oh, and here comes the full surround by the Zerglings, or almost full surround, and then the Roach is doing the damage. But it may actually be enough. This is going to be so close. 1 Thor goes down. He's focusing fire on the Thors. Another Thor goes down. This tank will surely fall. And this one Thor with the reinforcing roaches will also go down. bLv holds just barely by the skin of his teeth, which is an awesome song by Megadeth. bLv almost at his level 2 attacks. However, the mighty Oz, he is working on 3-2 for his mech. And these roaches are going to try to get some SUV kills, but the planetary is there. Does it have the high-sec auto-tracking? It does not. And it is trying to do some non-zero amount of damage, but he is losing so many roaches in this. Why are you trying to take that on with that many roaches? That is just not enough. Fortunately, they do not all die. They escape, but they are all on red and orange health. Unfortunately, bLv does not have Burrow researched, which will allow those roaches to get up in only 20 seconds or so. Oh no, here we go again. We have infestors on the way, but pathogen glands will finish after the 10 infestors, and the tanks getting some nice shots off on those roaches. And the Banshees are just having a field day. And there we go, those roaches attacking the Hellions. Not exactly what you want to attack. And here come the infestors with not enough energy for fungals. And he needs to do something with these infestors, or else they're going to get all killed. There goes one. There goes a lot more. Holy jeez. No, that is not what you want to do with infestors. And here are the corruptors. The Greater Spire is on the way. It is almost done. And those corruptors want those Banshees dead. But the Thors, even though they kill corruptors slowly, a corruptor shooting at a Banshee is even slower. And Oz is just sieging up this third. Nice attack with the Zerglings there, causing some splash damage, but it is not enough. This fourth is going to go down. And the drones attempting to evacuate to this recently established 5th base. I did not notice this, but this Hellion spots it. And it is just roasting drones. We'll have to keep an eye on him. In the meantime, these roaches from bLv are scared shitless. And they are trying to snipe off the reinforcing Thors, but the upgrades for Oz are just so good, and the unit count for bLv is so low. And this Hellion is just killing off a hatchery. It's gonna be here a while. You can just leave him alone. And the tanks, with the siege up, adding insult to injury. Oh, but it looks like the splash from those tanks took out a Thor. And that is why Crucio tank operators hang together on shore leave. And it looks like we have a lull in the action here. Oz just grouping up his units and employing the art of macro. Adding another factory to his production, and throwing on some Vikings. Oh, here we go. We have some Broodlords attempting to take down the natural base of Oz, but there are non-zero amount of Vikings here, and those Broodlords are not long for this world. And there is the GG as soon as Oz pushes up into the natural with his big mech army. And finally, Team Evolution gets a win on the board. They are unfortunately still trailing behind the Imperium, who 2-1. We'll have to see what happens in game number 4 of 9. So, until then, and as always, good luck and have double the fun, because that's what video games are all about. See ya.